Who's going to do it?
I've got, my head is completely empty right now. That's all I have to say.
Who's going to drop this cold open all over the floor?
Oh, God, please, no, we can't do that to the people.
I mean, I'm just disappointed that I said blobby babaloony while we weren't recording.
I know.
So,
Damn it. Do you want to do it again and we'll pretend?
Yeah.
This could be the cold open now. We could be in it if you like. Or...
This is it not? Well, who's to say what is and what isn't a cold open?
You mean you'll pretend that I know? Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Right,
What?
okay.
Hello?
Hey, guys.
Yes?
I see that the thread that we have done today for this episode begins with a picture of a Mr. Blobby helium balloon.
Oh, yeah.
Inflatable. More like blobby babaloony, am I right?
Oh my God, he's only fucking done it.
Oh, how do you come up with those, Peter? Was that off the cuff?
It was off the cuff, yeah.
Oh, my word.
I fucking loved that.
Truly an honour to
good.
have you part of this group.
What
Hey,
can I
Peter,
say?
thank you. Thank you for that.
Hey, that's
Thank
all
you.
right. You're welcome.
Everyone, thank you, Peter Austin.
Thank you, Peter Austin.
There we go.
Thank you, Peter Austin.
Do we need to talk about anything else at this point, or should we just play the music? I don't really know.
Why not? Yeah.
Well, what else could we add?
Go for
Run
it.
the tune, I guess.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the 3 Rs, where everybody brings
A thing along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Michael. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, I stole your words there, Ben. It's you that says hello first.
I tell you what, that's okay.
And that is okay.
That's okay. I'm actually all right with it.
Oh, good. Yeah, I thought I changed.
Good.
Well, didn't think I'd change things up a bit. I just changed things up a bit without thinking.
Just a renegade over there. Peter, do you want to say hello as well?
No, I'm not going to say it at all, actually, and that's how I'm changing it up. I'm just going to...
I don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
What an unpredictable podcast. Michael, I understand you've been having some minor issues this evening at the time of recording.
Yeah. All self-inflicted, though, so it's all good. Just... God, well, 2 days ago, I was getting angry at my computer because it was so slow. So I dropped a lot of money at the drop of a hat to buy a lot of new things, and they all arrived today. And I get so excited over new things coming, especially PC parts. And so I looked at the clock. It's 4 p.m. I've got Podiots in 3 hours. I can totally rebuild the computer by then and get everything installed. Spoiler, no, I couldn't. And so now I'm doing a little weirdly set up thing on my laptop. So if I sound a bit weird, that's why, but we should be golden. But hey, that's why I never let my hubris get the better of me, because it always blows up in my face.
Well,
and
you
that's
made
my
it.
story.
You made it. We're here. We're ready to record. Peter, are you ready to record?
Yes.
I just can't wait to hear what this guy's going to fucking come up with next. After that bloody thing at the start. That was unbelievable. But
I think I've
before,
peaked, to be honest.
well, yeah, Peter Austin. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're at it now.
Oh,
my
shit.
God,
I was just trying to segue into the next section, but fucking hell, look, I'm bloody doing it too.
Somebody's graduated from the University of Peter Austin over here.
Oh, I've got
indeed.
my diploma. So,
Segue.
yeah, it's kind of thrown me off, actually. I don't really know. Michael, seeing as you said hello, I suppose, do you
Hello.
want to try and segue in?
I can't even remember what we did. Is it Pod Squad?
I think so.
Hey, Ben.
Yes,
Did you
Michael?
know that you can support this podcast?
Yes.
Well, for the people who didn't know, you can head over to podiots.com. I'm just running with it here. I don't have a script in front of me, so we're freestyling it.
Keep going.
And if you go over to podiots.com, wait, is it podiots.com or Podiots
Yep.
official?
No, that's
Just
it.
Podiots.
Just
Podiots.
Podiots.com, yeah.
And if you go over to podiots.com and you donate a small fee of £3, you can join the illustrious, impressive, incredible ranks of the Pod Squad, where we will do you the great honour of reading out your name.
Bloody hell. It's all entirely optional, of course, but it does help us an awful lot. And a big thank you to our Pod Squad for this week. Remember, depending on when you donate, you will be assigned either the Pumpy Platoon, the Tiny Troop, or the Fast Crew. Mikey, do you want to kick us off?
I'd absolutely love to. We begin with Sir Chick by Dick and Cheeser.
I think it's Sir Chickbee Dick.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir Chickbee Dick and Cheeser.
Nice.
That's very good. Cute.
Brilliant.
Alexa, the engineer. Donak07. I'm Bastard Blobby. A slap in the a slap in the jammy crumpet, not the Jeremy crumpet. That'd be terrible. The very miserly, the very miserly Mr. What? Miserly?
Miserly, I think.
Jesus Christ. God, yeah, I think you're right. The very miserly Mr. Generous. Got that. I want some Crusher.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Stephen Scordes, Lord Brotovich, Peter enjoys racist yogurt. Oh no, is there some backstory to that yogurt? That
I don't know. It's presumably frou-frou they're talking about there. And I did a quick Google before we started recording to work out
It was the toy. Remember the problematic, potentially Native American?
Oh yeah, that's
right.
right. I forgot that I'd specified some of the toy things, but yeah.
Without context, it's rather alarming.
God, it's fine. It's fine. For real, have you seen this little fella? And lastly, 2, doing a Gacy.
We've also got, this is Caroline, please divorce. Margaret kills Mikey. Finn Tristram wants to lick Mikey's bumhole.
Wow.
Let's get it right. Bumhole. Wussy Pussy. Pussy Wussy. Mr. Macker. King Charles III, who was very generous and says, it's me, your boy.
Thanks.
Cheers, Charles.
And is the past tense of slingshot slang shat? ? Yes,
Ooh.
I think it probably is.
Yeah,
Wow.
must be.
And finally, we have Blue Poo Dabba Dee Dabba Die. Eat your Wheater Wicks. Eat your Wheater Wicks. Happy birthday, Molly. I wipe my bum like Ben does. Freddie doesn't though. B, stop clenching your oh my god, I can't even fucking speak. B, stop clenching your arsehole. German robot lady. Tickle all pee wee he zz. What is fucking going on today?
Excuse me?
I dream of pegging Elmo's dad.
Okay.
Bartek Kubica board Jornitzer. Donate early to get fast crew and German robot lay D's nuts. And that's
Nice.
that's your pod squad for this week.
It's a strong ending. That's my favourite.
An
That's my
interesting,
favourite too.
eclectic bunch. Podiots.com if you'd like to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show and join Pod Squad. You said that one was your favourite.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
Okay. I enjoyed I Want Some Crusher because it reminded me that Crusher probably still exists.
Does it exist? I never had Crusher.
Did you not? It was
No,
it
am I
felt
missing
like a
out?
real
I'm not exactly
treat.
sure
We didn't.
what
It
that
was a
is.
syrup you could add to milk, and the adverts went, "I want some Crusher," and they had like crazy cat.
Was it the neighbour's
animations.
cat singing?
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, go
Actually,
watch
There's
an
a
advert.
cat. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I had one bottle my entire life as a child, and it was incredible. What a treat!
I've never seen this before, as far as I'm aware.
Crusher. You've not seen Crusher before, man.
Oh, I really want to try some now.
Crusher milkshake. Yeah, it's still going.
Diluted juice is the best, so why not make milkshake diluted? That's just...
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. I got the Crusher commercial. Would you like to see it? It's
Yeah.
pretty fucked up. Here we go. See if you guys can react at the same time to it.
We'll try our best. Well,
This was on TV for a long
Oh my
time.
god, it's like a fucking jingle cat from Yogscast.
Oh, I remember this.
Oh, I do remember this.
Oh my god.
For the first time, I've added a YouTube video to the thread.
Incredible. I mean, for those
Cow.
for those who are not tuned in, imagine a bunch of like PNG cutouts of cats banging on instruments on a TV screen. That's what you've got while I'm singing. What is it? I want some Crusher.
I want
A glass of Crusher. it's tough enough to make milkshake. Do 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 do.
Yeah, the cow
banger.
looks a bit upset about it.
How odd.
Defiling his milk. How dare they? Or her.
Oh, wow.
At
Look
the
at
end, he
this.
threatens you as well. Add milk or we'll crush you.
Look at this video that's in my recommended in response to that
What's
video.
this?
Rhino, and then in brackets, rhinoceros, toy figure with sound. And it's just a 50-second video of a toy rhino with rhino noises.
18,000 views. What have they done
Unbelievable.
to crack the algorithm? They've got 36 subscribers, 0 comments. Why has that shown up for so many people?
I don't know.
What have they done? They're
Well, maybe
cheating.
it's just curiosity gets everyone. Like
Yeah.
they've got you, Peter.
It's quite well shot, I would say. I'll add that to the thread as well, just to really throw off people waiting for the episode to come out.
I can see the tags for it.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
A lot of rhino stuff in there. Rhino, rhinoceros, rhinocerotide. Is that like
Oh, wow,
multiple
like the,
rhinoceros?
The genus or something.
Yeah, it's hard to say. God. Anyway, there we are. That was Crusher. What a fun little detour we took down there. I enjoyed that. Peter, you've replied from your personal account, I believe.
Oh, good. Yeah, so
the
I have.
Threat.
I want some Crusher.
Crusher. It is the neighbour's cat, though. You're right. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar voice. Okay, well, I've got some questions here. Would you like the first one?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. I'm really prepared. Let me just open it up. Here we are. So this is from Jared at LikeAGlove90 on Twitter. Jared did ask a question in this same tweet, but I'm not going to ask that question because I think the initial statement he provides is a good jumping off point. So do you remember when we were talking last episode about the wikis?
You might have to be more specific.
Wikis. The
Oh, yeah.
Yogscast
Oh, the
wikis.
Yogscast wikis. Yes.
And we were talking about the quotes section and so on, and how it was all horribly out of date, and we asked people to update it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jared says, follow up from a few pods ago, more a statement. Mikey is known for more than noises. Shreddies, Wallace, dog rap, and then he says in brackets, right hand, left hand, give it a pet. Just to reassure you, Michael, that there were actual quotes that you did. You didn't just, make farts.
Thank God.
But
Oh, I see. Yeah.
someone has actually now gone in, I'm not sure who, and updated all of our wikis, not only to add more quotes, but to actually provide context for where the original quotes were from.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh
do you
my
want to go and
God.
have a look at your wiki now, Mikey, and fill us in on some of your most famous moments?
Well, I mean, the top one, I think, is something that you still reference to this day, Ben. How loud can I be in this lift?
Oh, that's a classic, Michael.
We
that one.
iterate on that one even when you're not around. We'll say it to each other or to people who weren't there at the time. Just whatever the adjective is, how gluttonous can I be in this restaurant?
I didn't
It's
even
such
say
a
that on camera,
malleable
did I?
term. No.
No, we just got
That
into a
was
lift and you said, how loud can I be in this lift? And then went, yeah.
Anyway, we'll continue with my other classics.
Yeah.
Triglyceride, of course, has made it in there. Seeing Me Mother's Gash, I think that one was already in there, wasn't it? You grow old together and you're lying in bed together in your 80s and Neil turns to you, slightly strained on his face and says, "This is a heart attack." And I like Parrots, Holidays and Bacon.
Oh, yes.
That's some of them in there. That's genius I spurted as a child, and that will never, ever leave me. I'll never top it. Just saying the 3 words of things I liked at the time.
Yeah.
Genius. How about you boys? What you got?
Oh, I can't believe you cut it off before you got to, I was thinking when you need a sound, I'll just come in and fart.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is a golden one, isn't it? Okay, well, you know what? A lot of these quotes involve me being loud or farting, but there's words to accompany those actions.
Yes.
So I am more than just my farts. Sometimes
are,
those
Michael.
farts come with words.
Do you feel better now?
Oh, so much better. I'm going to look at this whenever I'm feeling down and just giggle about myself.
Good.
Ben, what have you got?
I was just looking at some trivia, and the last one is Ben and Peter were on a panel of, and then in inverted commas, experts.
Yeah, I've got that one.
Awards nomination stream in 2018. Oh, God.
At time of writing, Peter Austin is the only Vidiot yet to be infected with COVID-19.
That's good trivia. That's good trivia.
And the only married Vidiot, it says.
Oh, man. 34 chicken dippers may seem like a lot, full stop. The worst games ever cooking meal. Pimpin' ain't easy, but I think it's doable is another one from a worst games ever episode. So yeah, these have all been updated now. Thank you. So I tried to look at the edit history, but I didn't know how to do it. So thank you, whoever did this. What else have you got, Peter?
Well, I've got one that I think this is from the original lot because it's up at the top of the list, but I have no idea what this is. The quote is just, remember something that you couldn't read, full stop, 2018. I don't know what that is.
Good.
But in terms of updated ones, what have we got? Me saying that cooking mama is attractive. Oh, here's one. Oh, yeah, well, kicking Hitler and shooting Nazis is a lot of fun, really. That's a classic from BAFTA. If you've got money, why don't you have a house? Well, that's not accurate. It's if you've got a phone, isn't it?
Oh.
Man.
I'll give you an inch, which is something that I said to you, Ben, in Santa Claus Saves the Earth.
Yes.
This is another strange one. You can't just help a lady down the stairs at the start of the day and then just be an absolute cunt for the rest of time. Podiots episode 25, Clumpy Grid, apparently. And if you play this game, you're a massive wussy pussy from the Fortnite sandwich making challenge. We had wussy pussy donate today.
We did have a wussy pussy. Maybe they're responsible.
Yeah. Also, I suck knobs all the time from Passepartout.
Good.
There you go.
All brilliant classic out of context quotes. They've added a really nice bit. It's probably in yours as well, Peter, to the end of the general about section. At the time of writing, Ben and Peter's channel Triple Jump has amassed over 250,000 subscribers and has a full team of writers and editors working to create entertaining and informative content about the video games industry.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
Very pleasant.
I take slight issue with one trivia bit that's now in mine.
Okay.
More that I just don't. If anyone Googles me and this is the first thing that comes up, I do not want to be represented by. Around the time the channel launched, Michael gave fellow Yogscast employee Dave Bryan a drunken lap dance in a nightclub in France. It's the truth.
There's video of it on the internet.
Just because it's the truth doesn't mean it has to be out there. It was consensual, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was into it. Yeah.
Good.
For sure. Well, there we are. I just thought that would be interesting to revisit. Thank you to the wonderful person or people who have been updating our wiki. Please do keep updating it. It's very cool. It's good to see.
Brilliant.
Yeah, thank you.
Who would like to do their thing first?
I could do
not shout at once.
Yeah, I was going to say. Fuck me.
I could do my thing.
Yeah,
I think I've not been last for like at least 3 episodes, so I'll go last if you like.
Okay, that's very kind of you, Peter.
Well, you're welcome.
So I come today with a tale of a disastrous theatre experience like never imagined before. So a couple of years ago, there was a little play going around, and by all means, it should have been a blockbuster smash hit, like sold out so much, been a right riot. But instead, here's the story of how it all went disastrously wrong. It's been 10 years since one of the most momentous nights of Glenn Burge's life. He was already an established off-Broadway playwright and children's television writer, but on 28th November 2010, a musical he had scripted had its first preview, and it was shaping up to be an international smash. The musical was Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark.
Oh my goodness, this is such an interesting story.
So I did assume Spider-Boy would know about this play.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a good one. Buckle up.
I think I might have known there was a Spider-Man musical, but that's literally all I know. Is it a
Well, get
musical
ready.
even?
It is a musical, yes,
Yeah.
it is. Well, get ready to learn all the little details about it because it's a bit of a ride. So, its friendly neighborhood title character had been a beloved pop cultural icon for 5 decades at that point and had just featured in 3 Hollywood blockbusters. The songs were going to be written by rock and roll royalty U2's Bono and The Edge. I don't know who The Edge is.
He's
Who is
in
the...
he's in U2.
He's also
Is
in
he
U2.
also?
Yeah, The Edge.
Oh, do they all have funny little names in U2?
I don't know. I
don't
think
know
it
if they
might just
all
be
do.
those two.
Yeah.
The others are called like Jeff and
Oh, just...
Philip. You know.
I'm the Edge. Anyway, the director was set to be Julie Taymor, who had masterminded the record-breaking stage adaptation of Disney's The Lion King. So surely, with a pedigree like that, nothing could go wrong, right? But all this is not to say that Berger wasn't nervous about the event, setting up a whole new stage play. Speaking to BBC Culture from his home in upstate New York, he remembers how strange it felt to be unveiling something he and his collaborators had been devising together for years. I quote, "We were opening the door, either to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory or to some sort of slaughterhouse." That's a rich quote. You'll see. Well, no one dies, but yeah, there's a little bit of mild peril coming up. The show relied on complicated aerial stunts in which the performers were suspended from wires, and so the first preview was bound to keep stopping and starting as technical hitches were addressed. As you do, it's to be expected as long as nothing's too insane. Everything was going relatively smoothly until the last few seconds before the interval. I quote, "Then there was a flourish when Spider-Man flies off through the audience towards the balcony, and for some reason he stopped mid-journey. So you had Spider-Man dangling 7 feet above the first 2 rows, and it was in the worst possible position because no one could reach him at all. One of the crew members fetched a stick to prod him with, but that didn't help."
Prod? What's that going to do?
Just, come on, Spidey, move along a bit. "It was like a live Spider-Man pinata," someone else said. "But we knew by the end of the night, well, that's the worst it's ever going to be. We'll keep improving and improving on it, and it's going to be duck soup by the time we open in January." Once again, famous last words there, friend. But I do like the idea of a poor little actor being stuck in Spider-Man attire up in the air above an auditorium. That's a beautiful
Very
sight.
superhero-esque, isn't it?
Incredibly graceful, just like the real Spider-Man. But it didn't end up working out like that in terms of everything getting better and getting better. Before the first preview, Turn Off the Dark was already being gossiped about as a troubled enterprise. Its initial lead producer and guiding light, Tony Adams, unfortunately had a fatal stroke in 2005 while in a meeting with The Edge. Then after that, there was, of course, the financial crisis of 2007 and 2008, which had scared off all the private investors. So that by the time it got to August 2009, the production found itself $20 million short of cash.
Ooh.
Already looking a little... Oh, yeah, it's a stinger. Already looking a bit grim, but we'll soldier on. Minor bumps in the road, I tell you. But the bad luck didn't end there. In the months that followed the first preview, the official opening was repeatedly postponed, while Berger and his colleagues dealt with bruising, embargo-defying reviews, sackings, injuries, and countless technical snags. By May 2011, Turn Off the Dark had become so synonymous with theatrical disaster that a headline in The Onion, the satirical newspaper, but we all know about that, don't we, Ben?
We do.
You know what that one is. The Onion appeared to only be slightly exaggerating with the headline, "Nuclear bomb detonates during rehearsal for Spider-Man musical." So I think that says a lot about the
sort of notoriety of everyone knew that it was
to the
already a
point-
joke.
To the point where a satire website could kind of codedly refer to your play and people would find that funny. That's
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. The show did finally have its opening night in June 2011, but by then its fate had already been effectively sealed. And though its run continued for 2.5 years when it closed in January 2014, it had made a loss of $60 million.
Oh, God.
Ooh! So yeah, 2 years it was running, bleeding money. Oh dear, not a good sight. And by the way, losing 60 million is a Broadway record, so it's record-breaking, at least in some ways.
Hey, good for them.
Yeah.
This surefire hit had become a legendary debacle. I'm philosophical about all of it, says Berger. It might end up in my obituary, and I'm not too happy about that. But I'd rather have Spider-Man on my resume than the Iraq War.
What?
Yeah, sure. I mean, most of us would.
The only thing I can think of that's worse than this is the Iraq War. Maybe that's not a ringing indictment of your player then, isn't it? But let's get into the injuries now. There's the context for you. Now let's get on to the Isley Grizzlies. Actors, especially dancers in a Broadway musical, will often suffer minor injuries, and Spider-Man is not unusual in that regard. However, the show, which is said to have the most extensive computerized automation and special effects than any show on the Great White Way, has been plagued with a number of serious injuries, including... The New York Times reported that at the 15th of August 2013 performance of Spider-Man, Turn Off the Dark, it was stopped at around 9 p.m. during the second act. As actor and performer, Daniel Curry was injured on stage and went to hospital for medical treatment. One audience member, Melissa Kessler, told the New York Times that the actor's leg was pinned by a trapdoor and appeared to have closed shut. Ow! Ow! Oh, God. She goes on to say in an interview, the floor looked completely closed on his leg. They brought out a privacy screen and a lot of people on stage started getting things going. A stretcher was brought out. They were using a saw to cut a hole in the stage floor. Not
to cut his leg off.
I'm sorry, guy. This is a bad one. We're going to have to chop it off.
I'm surprised they didn't just come out and prod him again.
John, get the stick again. He's stuck.
It could have been really bad if he was trapped there for too long. He would have had to make himself sick so that he wouldn't dehydrate.
Yeah. I had my leg trapped in a trapdoor on Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark for 1 hour.
It was flat, I believe was a quote.
Flat leg.
Oh, I'm still so bewildered by that article, but we digress. We
do.
On November 28th, 2010, Natalie Mendoza, who played Arachne, I'm assuming, yeah, as in a spiderous enemy, Arachne.
Is it? I'm thinking of...
Are you saying Iraqi? Are we back to the war again?
Arachne, as in arachnid, but with a knee.
Right, the dancer who got their leg stuck. That's what?
No,
this is different.
This is a new person.
You sure
now.
This isn't the war?
It might be. It all feels like the war now.
I was going to say, is it Arachnia? But that's from something else. I can't even think who that... Oh, it's from Beast Wars. So I don't know what the Spider-Man one is. But if it seems like Arachne, then it's probably Arachne.
Well, whoever this person is and the character that they played was, sadly they suffered a concussion when they were struck on the head by a piece of rope that was holding production equipment, which is quite a stunning injury, actually. Someone must have flinged that at them at incredible speed. Yeesh. On December 20th, 2010, Christopher W. Turney, who performed stunts dressed as Spider-Man, was admitted to intensive care after falling several feet from a platform. His injuries included a hairline skull fracture, 4 broken ribs, a bruised lung, internal bleeding, and cracks in 3 lumbar vertebrae. Turney returned to the show 5 months later after new safety procedures had been set out. Oh, God.
Wow.
Jesus.
Oh, God. In 2013, in February, Joshua Kobach, who replaced Christopher W. Turney, filed papers to sue the production company for 2 herniated discs, a concussion, whiplash, and holes in both knees, injury he claims he received as a result of performing in the show on equipment that had not been properly maintained or
Holes
calibrated.
in both knees.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I think surely that's got to be a surgical thing and not an accident on the stage. But yeah, imagine that. You come in to replace an actor who's been injured, and then in turn, you get a boatload of injuries yourself. Good Lord. I'd hope, after the first person left, they'd say, all right, maybe let's pick things up a bit now. But even though they did do a safety recalibration, it didn't work. And lastly, on the list that I have in front of me, there's probably more that only the production crew know about, is on 16th of March, 2011, TV Carpio, who replaced Natalie Mendoza in the role of Arachne, suffered unspecified onstage injuries, which led her to taking a 2-week leave on doctor's orders. I do believe there's videos of this online. Is there, Ben? I'm going to you, not Google.
For what? Sorry,
for these, for just, I think there's some Spider-Man stage accidents that were captured on video.
Oh, almost certainly. Yeah, there's loads of compilations on YouTube. I haven't actually watched any of those, but I think probably you can see the whole show on YouTube if you wanted to.
Probably, yes. Sadly, it would be your only way of seeing it now. But yes, it was just fraught with calamity from start to finish, and sadly fizzled out and left a $60 million hole for everyone else to clean up after the fact.
Goodness.
I do recommend giving it a Google, because there is a few quite funny clips. Nothing bad, just of people tumbling over on stage. I think people went into the show expecting accidents to happen, so there's plenty of phone footage around there if you want to look into it.
Man, well, I always sort of favourite web pages when I think it's something interesting that could do for a Podiots thing. And I actually have one saved about this, which was doing the rounds, let's see. Well, it was February last year, actually, so quite a while ago. But a viral TikTok has claimed that Imagine Dragons wrote songs for the Spider-Man musical. So apparently they were briefly linked to the musical in 2013. And it all kind of starts to make sense when you think what their most famous song is from that period. What's the most famous Imagine Dragons songs?
Radioactive.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Radioactive.
I don't know why I know so many lyrics to that song. It is kind of
it was everywhere, but also Radioactive by Imagine Dragons has been linked to, which would make sense because he's got radioactive blood and he was bitten by a radioactive spider. So apparently the links are a bit tenuous, but they for their existing music to have originally been planned for use in the show. But they were involved at one point, so there is a chance that Radioactive. There might be a little bit of truth to the fact that Radioactive by Imagine Dragons was going to be part of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
Yeah. And then became a global chart topper instead.
Oh, that's because it's not like players come for a season. They tend to stay years if they do. So imagine 4 years down the line, you're still singing it and an audience is still hearing Radioactive long after the hype died down. Now it's just embarrassing.
You can't escape it. But wow, what a fun walk down horrible musical lane. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I really must stop bringing things that are just lists of injuries, but my alternative thing was also a violent thing, so you got lucky. This is the calmer of the two.
And now we go to Injury Corner with Michael Johnson.
It's bad. It's real bad. Thank you very much, boys.
Thank you. Would you like a question?
Yeah.
I am not. We've certainly told some anecdotes that related to hangovers, but I don't know that we've ever actually been straight up asked, what is the worst hangover you have ever had? Anything you did but couldn't remember in the morning? Any huge life-changing mistakes whilst under the influence? And that's from Shreddy Murphy, at Murphy_Shreddy on Twitter.
I mean, I've talked about the gingerbread man that I ate from Halford's car park.
Yes.
I assume that was probably one. I can't remember a specific hangover that was worse than any other. I remember a few that were quite bad, but I don't know what the champion is. But I'm sure I probably had a pretty bad one after that. And then the other story that I've definitely told is that I was definitely hungover when the one time that I had sleep paralysis and saw like a demon in my bedroom, which wasn't a demon, it was a hallucination. But yeah, quickly, in case people don't know the story, we were all really hungover. We were students. It was like a Sunday. And we were sort of sleeping and napping all the way throughout the day. So our sleep patterns were all way messed up. And then by 8 p.m, I was getting sleepy again. And I went to bed and had like half an hour. And I was really disturbed, like in bed, like not sleeping well. And when I opened my eyes, the light was still on because I'd been too uncomfortable to even get up and turn it off. And I could see the wardrobe door at the end of the room was open. And way at the top of the door, so, 6 or 7 feet off the ground, a small head leaned out, a human head that was completely black, like it was, as in, like it had been in a chimney or something. It was like a chimney sweep. And then it just sort of went back into the wardrobe. And then I was slowly able to move again. And I was like, okay, that was just me having a waking nightmare. I don't actually believe that there's anyone in there. But it was...
Goodness.
Pretty creepy.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
That I would not be able to sleep for weeks after that. My lord.
Yeah. It was for some reason the creepiest part about it was how tall it was. Like it wasn't just a 6-foot man. It was just a little bit too tall to actually be a head on shoulders. It was like up in the air. It was really strange.
Horrible. Oh, goodness me.
I must have told the story of the time when my American friend came to visit and I drank so much that I sicked in my bed. Have I told that?
I don't think so. You've mentioned like falling down the stairs and trying to do a James Bond role and hurting a shoulder just before Vidiots. You picked up a seagull. You were at a house
sick
party
in the sink
with Alex Winters,
photo.
who works with us.
All right, can we stop now, please? Thank you. I'm a mess, I know. Well, I'll keep it brief just in case I have told this one again, but this is by far the worst I've ever been, and I still can't look at certain drinks because of it. So, yeah, it was... My friend was visiting from America, so we thought we'd show him the tune, show him a proper night out. Do you guys remember Gotham in the centre of town?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we took him to Gotham, and we started getting in lots of shots and lots of other drinks. And on that night, I think I must have just alternated between Newcastle Brown Ale and pure vodka all night long. It tasted great at the time. I was having a whale of the time. And yeah, I don't remember much of the night after that. One of the glimmering highlights I do have is eating foam from the inside of a chair in the club. That was a lot. It was like a chair that was ripped open. I just reached in and grabbed a bit of foam and had a nibble. That wasn't good.
If you're going to eat any foam from a chair, the last one you want to be eating from is from a club chair as well. Like at least eat a nice clean chair from somewhere.
Yeah,
we've got chair at home, Michael.
Yeah.
But I want foam now. Anyway, after I eat the foam, I proceed to black out completely. And the next thing I have any memory of is being at home in bed. I wake up, open my eyes. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, I don't feel so good. And so just in this horrible, drunk, sick state, I just vomit all over myself. Oh. And then I fall straight back to sleep.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
And the thing I wake up to on the morning is just my mum saying, oh, Michael.
What more can she say? What do you say?
That is the most shameful thing I've ever done drunk. Actually, no, maybe pissing in the bottom drawer of my parents' wardrobe.
Oh, Michael.
That was sleepwalking. I swear to God, that was sleepwalking. I had no recollection of doing that. My dad woke me up in the morning and went, son, have you pissed in the bottom of the wardrobe? I was like, no. Like, what? Why would I do that? Paco couldn't reach it.
Fair point.
I still don't remember doing it, but I'll take the blame for it, I guess. Yes, I woke up with that stinking hangover, and I looked at my clock. My American friend had already left to do things for the day because I think he realized I was a lost cause, and so I had to travel from my house to Newcastle in like this fastest time ever to attend a dog cafe appointment we had. Oh. I could not enjoy that day at all.
Worst hangover, Ben?
Yeah, my worst one. I don't think I've ever done anything on like a night out or while out when I, was blacked out or anything that I necessarily regret. Because even when I have gone out drinking, no matter how drunk I am, I have an almost sort of Terminator like what is the term I'm looking for? Maybe
Constitution.
Not constitution, but like tenacity for like I have a mission, a single-minded mission, which is get home.
Right.
And like I'll put headphones in, I'll head down, I'll walk really fucking fast, like the fastest you've ever seen, with such purpose, and I will get into my own bed. So help me God! Like I've never not done that, apart from
me neither.
when I was at university, and it was my first year. And I think I may have told this story on Podiots as well at some time, but I was drinking Sambuca, and I can't drink Sambuca anymore because of this. And I'd done several shots of Sambuca because they were on offer at the student pub. The people I was drinking with, we then came back to the shared flat, and on the way, picked up a bottle of Sambuca. We were drinking it in the flat, and then I don't remember anything else, and I wake up, sat in my office chair in front of my desk, and I have, like, thrown up all down my front, all over the front of the desk, all over the top of the desk, and between my legs and stuff.
Oh, God.
I've never felt so horrible. My friend was coming to visit, or was already there, and he was asleep in my bed, and I was just in my office chair. He was a hero and helped me clean up as best as we could. I found the empty bottle of Sambuca in the kitchen with a mug next to it, which is apparently what we've been drinking. Which is what we've been drinking out of by the end of the night. And I didn't feel, when you have one of those hangovers and you don't feel right for days afterwards, like I was not well. But the most memorable one outside of that, I think, is maybe when we went to What's Next to Focus and pissed everyone off. That did have consequences because we were taking advantage of the open bar and we got fucking wasted. And I did throw up when we got back, but I went to the toilet to do it, so that was okay.
Oh, well done. Oh, that was silly. It was just a room full of professional journalists talking and kind of getting on with each other, networking. And then, like, here comes us with a tray of as many beers as the bar would actually give us in one go.
Yeah, we all went up at the end and got like 6 each. It was awful.
To be clear, there was a DJ playing music and the lights were down. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a conference room, but yeah, we definitely, they were networking and talking over the music, and we were just going mad.
There's people there having professional discussions, and there's
Yeah.
Michael giving a lap dance in the corner, and the rest of us getting fucking trolleyed.
Well, and then we went out after that, didn't we? Into
We did,
Paris
yeah.
for a bit.
God.
We
to an
did.
Irish
I actually
bar.
blame Dave for that a little bit. I mean, it's
Yeah.
our fault, but everyone else was politely having 1 or 2 drinks and then thinking, right, well, I am here to work, so I'm going to go home and go back to the hotel and sleep, and then go to the event tomorrow and see some more games. But Dave was there to network, and like he got just as wasted as we did.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
he did.
He set the pace and we matched it.
And as we
Yeah.
have said numerous times, we were penciled in for slots the following morning that we had not signed up for, and that
I
was
didn't
not
really
our fault.
know that we were. I think everything was written on our schedule, and we assumed, well, these are the slots that we would have had if we'd signed up to see that game, kind of thing. So it was written there, but I don't think we were like, oh well, we told them we're not going to that, so that's just, they know that we're not going to that one.
Yeah.
And then we were told later, you didn't turn up for your slots. And we're like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah, I
happy,
remember
but
how
it was-
rough we felt the next day, and we've got that little bit of video on the actual vlog where both of us sound bassy as hell and feel terrible.
I think we have some video of Michael Johnson jumping between a bed as well, just falling between 2 beds. That might have been when
That's
we first
pre.
arrived at the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. God, I'm so sorry.
Michael didn't make it to the event venue before Peter and I did. We waited for him downstairs in the hotel lobby for a bit and then gave up and went.
I remember waiting there for ages, and it had an upside down like toy cycle route on the ceiling. There were all these little toy, like train set sized toys of pedestrians and cyclists on this like upside down thing, and we just sat there feeling bad, and then eventually we went.
It was pretty miserable, I must say. Our apologies once again to the organisers of What's Next to Focus.
Who are definitely listening.
No, they're not. They hate us. We do maintain our innocence in that we didn't sign up for all the stuff that you signed us up for, but at the same time you threw a fantastic event. But maybe have a drink limit next time because we ruined it for everyone. So.
Maybe this wouldn't have happened if they let us touch the cows in the farming simulator
God,
exhibit.
why didn't they let us touch the cows?
We had a great time though. I mean,
we did.
It's one of my favourite, certainly work-related nights out I've ever had.
Yeah.
Again, calling it a night out, it was a business networking event.
Yeah. And then we had a racist taxi driver on the way back to the hotel, which was terrible.
Oh yeah.
And when we were trying to get, I think Dave tried to book like 4 cars to get us back to the hotel on the night out. And they were like all calling him and yelling at him. And then we got in one and Dave was trying to communicate to the driver by just saying the name of footballers in a French accent.
Yeah.
That's the most British thing I've ever heard. Well, isn't technically not British, but still.
It was amazing.
That's so good.
It was really fun. Anyway, it's time for a thing.
Yeah.
I've got a thing. I
Go
saw this
for
the
it.
other day and I found an article about it. 7 bizarre ways the US tried to kill or topple Fidel Castro.
Oh.
Nice.
Hope you're ready to learn. This is an older article by Dylan Matthews on Vox.com from the 26th of November 2016, which I believe was shortly in the wake of Castro's actual death.
Yeah.
So here we are. After years of avoiding assassination attempts by the US government, Fidel Castro died at age 90 on Friday at the end of a decade of dealing with illness. Castro's longevity may even seem like the final act of defiance against the United States, which became his adversary since he first took power in Cuba in the late 1950s. The botched US-backed 1961 Bay of Pigs invasion meant to topple Castro could have ended in his death, but most other attempts involved more subterfuge and spycraft. Apparently there were 634 attempts on his life.
Jesus.
From the CIA, Cuban exiles and others.
Wow.
But the count is quite possibly high. He counts 21 attempts under Bill Clinton, whose administration wouldn't have had much motive after the end of the Cold War, says the article. Anyway, first up, the poisoned cigar. Probably the most famous attempt on Castro's life, the cigar plot, originated in 1960 towards the end of the Eisenhower administration. A notation in the records of the Operations Division, CIA's Office of Medical Services, indicates that on August the 16th, 1960, an official was given a box of Castro's favourite cigars with instructions to treat them with lethal poison. The cigars were contaminated with botulinum, maybe, toxin.
Not
with
botulism. Not botulism?
Botulinum.
It might be a related word, yeah. Botulism is like it's a disease, isn't it, that you can get? But botulinum, I don't know.
Botulinum. A botulinum toxin, not sure. So potent that a person would die after putting one in his mouth. The official reports that the cigars were ready on October the 7th, 1960. Skipping ahead because it's giving some more details. Notes indicate that they were delivered to an unidentified person on February the 13th. The record does not disclose whether an attempt was made to pass the cigars to Castro. There's a popular belief that the CIA also tried to give Castro an exploding cigar, but this is much more poorly documented, and some historians believe it to merely be an urban legend.
It's just a dynamite stick pin. Like a cigar.
Like Wile E. Coyote.
Acme, yeah.
Shit. Number 2, the Mafia ice cream plot.
Oh my God.
In mid-March 1961, Mafia contacts of the CIA came the closest of anyone to carrying out an assassination. They gave poison pills and thousands of dollars to one of the CIA's most prominent Cubans, Tony Verona. Verona managed to hand off the vial of poison to a restaurant worker in Havana who was to slip it into Castro's ice cream cone. Cuban intelligence officers later found the vial in an icebox, frozen to the coils. And then it says in brackets, Castro famously loved ice cream.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, apparently so. There are some different versions of this story. Escalante recalls it happening in 1963 and with a chocolate milkshake instead of ice cream. One variant posits that the pills were not discovered by Cuban intelligence, but instead spilled out in the freezer and rendered useless. But Escalante called the poison pill effort the closest the CIA got to assassinating Fidel in an interview with Reuters. Reuters? That's how you pronounce it, isn't it?
Reuters, yeah.
3 and 4, the exploding seashell plot and the poisonous diving suit plot.
Oh, fun.
Scuba diving and ice cream, as we've learned, was one of Castro's favourite hobbies. So perhaps
Both at the same time.
he loved it. So perhaps, unsurprisingly, the CIA looked into the possibility of building an exploding seashell to kill him on one of his expeditions. In 1963, the Church Committee report recounts Desmond Fitzgerald, chief of the anti-Castro CIA task force, asked his assistant to determine whether an exotic seashell rigged to explode could be deposited in an area where Castro commonly went skin diving. But that's not the only diving-related plan the CIA had. A second plan involved having James Donovan, who was negotiating with Castro for the release of prisoners taken during the Bay of Pigs operation, present Castro with a contaminated diving suit. Donovan is maybe most famous for negotiating the spy trade that returned American U-2 pilot Francis Gary Powers. He was portrayed by Tom Hanks. And The Edge. He was portrayed by The Edge in the 2015 Steven Spielberg Coen Brothers movie Bridge of Spies. The Technical Services Division of the CIA did wind up buying a diving suit, dusting its insides with a fungus that caused the chronic skin disease Madura foot, and put TB in the breathing apparatus.
Just for completeness, just you get it all done.
We really want to kill this man, but the suit never left the laboratory, apparently. Number 5, the Paramour. Marita Lorenz, Fidel Castro's one-time lover, has said that she was recruited by CIA-funded anti-Castro groups in late 1959 and tasked with slipping him botulism toxin pills. There you go, Peter.
See? It is a word.
Her CIA contact, she claimed, was E. Howard Hunt, a then-agent who would later go to jail for his role in the Watergate break-in. As soon as her plane reached Havana, however, Lorenz was having doubts about killing Castro. Vanity Fair's Anne-Louise Bardache writes, even if she had the will to go through with her mission, she had already botched it, having stashed the capsules in a jar of cold cream. When she looked for them, they were all gunked up. I fished them out and flushed them down the bidet. When Castro finally appeared, he was wary. Why did you leave so suddenly? Was his first question, she says. Are you running around with those counter-revolutionaries in Miami? I said yes. I tried to play it cool. The most nervous I have ever been was in that room because I had agents on standby and I had to watch my timing. I had enough hours to stay with him, order a meal, kill him, and prevent him from making a speech that night, which was already pre-announced. He was very tired and wanted to sleep. He was chewing a cigar, not an explosive one, and he laid down on the bed and said, "Did you come here to kill me?" Just like that. I was standing at the edge of the bed. I said, "Yes, I wanted to see you." And he said, "That's good. That's good." Castro asked if she was working for the CIA. I said, "Not really. I work for myself." Then he leaned over, pulled out his .45 and handed it to me. I flipped the chamber out and hit it back. He didn't even flinch. And he said, "You can't kill me. Nobody can kill me." And he kind of smiled and chewed on his cigar. I felt deflated. He was so sure of me.
Which exploded.
Nobody can kill me. He was so sure of me. He just grabbed me. We made love. I contemplated staying to try talking to him later after his speech, but it would be too late because he rambles on for 8, 10 to 12 hours. That was the hardest part. I wanted him to beg me to stay, but he got dressed and left. I just sat there by myself a while. I left him a note. I told him that I would be back.
What the fuck?
Isn't that mental? Isn't that absolutely insane?
That's nuts. You go there with the plan of killing the man and you end up sleeping with him. That's literally, I think that's happened in like 3 James Bond films.
Yeah,
It's really James Bond, isn't it? It's insane.
You can't kill me.
Number 6, the poison pen. In the early 1960s, the CIA made contact with a senior Cuban official known only as AM/Lash. Each case officer testified that he did not ask A.M. Lash to assassinate Castro, the Church Committee report writes. The record clearly reveals, however, that both officers were aware of his desire to take such action. A.M. Lash asked for, and apparently received, a cache of highly powered rifles with scopes which he intended to use for an assassination. But the CIA also offered him a ballpoint pen rigged with a hypodermic needle so fine that the victim would not notice its insertion. Wow. Apparently, A.M. Lash did not think much of the device and complained the CIA surely could come up with something more sophisticated than that.
than a needle you can't even feel, hidden in a pen.
Just doesn't give a shit, does he?
Bit harsh.
And finally, I think this is the most interesting one personally, character assassination through LSD-like drugs or de-bearding.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
So these technically weren't attempts to kill Castro so much as discredit him and undermine his rule, but they're too strange to not include here. From March through August 1960, during the last year of the Eisenhower administration, the CIA considered plans to undermine Castro's charismatic appeal by sabotaging his speeches. According to the 1967 report of the CIA's Inspector General, an official in the Technical Services Division recalled discussing a scheme to spray Castro's broadcasting studio with a chemical which produced effects similar to LSD, but the scheme was rejected by the But the scheme was rejected by the chemical was unreliable. I think you can see what he meant there.
Yes.
The TSD also experimented with dosing a box of cigars with a chemical producing temporary disorientation, which could lead to an embarrassing failed speech by Castro. The CIA Inspector General also found a plan to dust Castro's shoes with thallium salts, a strong depilatory that would cause his beard to fall out. It was supposed to be delivered to Castro when he was traveling abroad and left his shoes outside his hotel room to be shined, but when Castro cancelled the trip, the attempt was abandoned, and that is the final one.
Jeez,
of the lot.
Ease.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, God, the fun the CIA used to have, but they're probably still doing similar
way
Looney
worse,
Tunes level stuff.
Even
Yeah.
more
Now,
insidious
aren't they?
than ever before. Yeah, for sure.
And they got, yeah, my God. That must have been a fun time to work there, though. How can we kill Castro? Bomb cigar, infected jumpsuit. Why
How
not?
nefarious.
Stabby pen? No, that's too silly. I can't do that.
More sophisticated, please.
Come up with way better than that. The CIA is so nefarious in that regard. I am actually a several-year-long CIA sting operation to determine once and for all, Michael, if you pissed in that drawer at your parents' house.
Oh my God.
And
what
now
have you
my
learned
work
so
is done.
far?
So much. Learned so much.
What did you put in the foam, Ben? Tell me what you put in the foam.
Oh, Michael. Oh, Michael. You don't want to know. But that's my thing. Some very bizarre ways that the CIA tried to take down Castro.
Amazing.
Nice. Incredible. Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome. Would you like a question?
Yes, please.
This is from Connor Bennett at cbennett_12, who says, what flavour is the Vidiots cereal and what is the toy inside?
Oh, what flavour is the video? I mean, banana seems too obvious, but that just because it's yellow. But that's, you know, there's got to be some deeper. Taste of neighbour's cat.
Oh, garlic? No, we don't want that. We want it to be palatable, but bear in mind, that we can have that like whole grain shapes of something, and also several different designs of marshmallows go in there too. So we can have all sorts going on in this bowl.
Oh, well, the mallows have short. I mean, not to just sound like a broken record, but it seems too perfect not to have blobby mallows, right? Pink, little Mr. Blobby shapes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sort of strawberry flavoured, or, well, just marshmallow flavoured, really.
We could have a few varieties though. So we could have blobby mallows.
Yeah.
We could have maybe some in the shape of memory cards.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. Could we have videos?
I like it.
Vidiots, and you get the letters VIO T and S, but not a D.
There's never there was a manufacturing malfunction.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Is it chocolatey? Does it turn the milk brown?
I think it probably turns the milk a colour that you weren't expecting.
Green.
Turns the milk yellow. And you don't really know why.
Oh, I'm thinking for the toy inside at least, it's a mystery Hannah Montana item, so you have your own little possum tat.
Oh, wow.
It could be a copy of Hannah Montana, the movie, the game, or it could be a copy of Hannah Montana, the movie, the game.
But it's not in like the proper plastic case. It's in one of those little paper sleeves like you used to get inside cereal boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and adding on to the possum tat thing, half of the box is cereal. The other half is just random stuff that was found lying around in the factory and chucked in a box.
Yeah.
Yes. Some leaflets.
Maybe there's a few actual Fruit Loops in there. We got sent some Fruit Loops, didn't we? So
Yeah.
Yeah, still have those. So that's the toy. What about the back though? Could we do a word search?
yeah, we could do a word search.
Maybe every production cycle, we include the final question for the audience at home to answer, and they can just scribble on the back of the box.
Yeah, that's good.
That'd be cute.
It also says best before 2019 on every box.
Hey,
Oh, very good.
excellent. Maybe you can cut out a mask from the back and wear it, like one of us three. There's different varieties, different cereals. You got to collect them all.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just chuck in a DVD in there for shits and giggles as well?
This
You don't
box
get
is absolutely packed with stuff.
There's no room,
for
for
the
cereal.
cereal.
It's just a box of shit we don't want anymore. We could have done that, honestly, if we had the time to properly prepare.
Yeah.
We could have done a temporary... I mean, there's a chance that people... It was too soon, I think, but there's a chance people could have gotten their own tat sent back to them, but people could buy like a mystery box of shit, and we could have sold and gotten rid of all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been such a good use of it all.
Yeah.
Oh.
It would have been good. Well, there we are. I think we've done the... What did you call it? Vidiots?
I think I actually just said videos,
Videos.
which is just
Videos.
the word video, but with an I.
T's not pronounced.
I went quiet there because I spent so long going through words trying to think what could I make into O's, and there was nothing there. Benzos? No, that's no.
Podiots, maybe. Something.
Come on, there's got to be something.
It's really frustrating because I know there's something in there.
Yeah. Flakes? No, there's nothing there.
Bouquet flakes.
Oh, no. I don't,
No,
I
that's
don't
not
Book
want it.
flakes.
Book flakes.
Peter,
Yes,
do you have a thing?
I've got a thing right here. It has an audio component as well, but unfortunately, I'll just shoot you a link in a minute. But here we go. This is all about well, not a furry friend because he doesn't have fur, but a member of the animal kingdom we're going to learn all about today. This is Nock, the beluga whale. Nock, spelt N-O-C, all capital letters, apparently. Everywhere it's written, it's always in all caps, which is a bit strange. So, Nock was a beluga whale who made human-like vocalizations. You might remember that I brought Hoover the talking seal very early on in the Podiots days, who went, "Oh, get over here." That's an old one. He was captured by Inuit hunters for the United States Navy in 1977 and lived in captivity until his death in 1999. I don't think the article gives more detail than that in terms of what he was going to be used for, but at the time, and perhaps I think still maybe, the Navy have used dolphins and whales for things like detecting underwater mines and like underwater surveillance and stuff. So that is what he was captured for. In 1984, researchers from the National Marine Mammal Foundation discovered his unusual ability to mimic the rhythm and tone of human speech. Beluga's human-like voices had been described in the past, but Nock's voice was the first to have been recorded. Nock was legally captured by Inuit hunters in 1977 as a juvenile. The name Nock is a play on no-see-ums. Let me just copy and paste the word no-see-ums for you because it is the most Vidiots-looking word I've ever seen. No-see-ums. As in the word no. Well, I'll give you... So they're called no-see-ums because they are midges, and I guess in some part of the world they call them no-see-ums because they're so small that you can't see them.
Interesting.
That's so good.
Yeah. The name Nock, N-O-C, is a play on no-see-ums, biting midges found in Manitoba where he was caught. He lived in captivity for 22 years until his death in 1999. His human-like vocalizations were first noticed in 1984 and stopped about 4 years later when he became sexually mature. There was some repeated stuff there because I read the intro and now we're on the actual bulk of the article. So, beluga whales have been called canaries of the sea, and anecdotes of their capacity for mimicry have been reported in the past. For example, the first 2 scientists to study the calls of wild belugas wrote that, quote, occasionally the calls would suggest a crowd of children shouting in the distance. And keepers at the Vancouver Aquarium said that a 15-year-old beluga whale named Lugosi was able to speak his own name. However, Knock's human-like calls were, to say again, the first of their kind to be recorded. Knock's vocalizations were recorded and studied by a team of biologists from the NMMF, led by Sam Ridgway. In 1984, Ridgway and the others at the NMMF began to hear peculiar sounds coming from the whale and dolphin enclosure. They were reminiscent of 2 people talking in the distance. The words were just beyond the limit of comprehension. Later, a diver working in the enclosure came to the surface after he heard someone cry... heard someone cry, out, out, out.
Oh.
It's creepy, isn't it?
Why are they choosing like creepy stuff to mimic, like children playing
I know.
and stuff? Oh,
yeah.
Stop it.
So after he asked his colleagues who told me to get out, they realised it must have been Knock. They immediately began to record the sounds and reward him for the behaviour, teaching him to make them on command. Eventually, they installed a pressure sensor in his nasal cavity to better understand the mechanism by which the sounds were produced. According to Ridgway, quote, they were definitely unlike the usual sounds for a beluga and similar to human voices in rhythm and acoustic spectrum. End quote. Unlike humans who use the larynx to produce sounds, whales use their nasal tract. Data gathered from the pressure sensors indicated that Knock was using his nasal tract as well, although he altered his normal vocal mechanics. In particular, he overinflated his vestibular sac, which is normally used to prevent water from entering the lungs.
You should go to a doctor if you
overfill
your vestibular.
Your vestibular sac is overinflated. But yeah, he seems to purposely
my
be...
vestibular sac's been hit. Sorry.
He's going against the usual beluga mechanics in order to make these sounds. So there is seemingly some kind of intention here. And then it says at the end, Knock's vocalizations were described during a conference in 1985 and in a 2012 paper by Ridgway et al., which appeared in Current Biology journal. So I'm now going to send you a link to this weird Wikipedia article, and embedded in the article is a player with a recorded sound of Knock. And flip brace yourself, because I'm not even going to prime you, but when you guys are ready...
Okay, I've got it paused.
I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh. Oh, what? Oh. That's so haunting. It sounds like it almost sounds like the vocalization of a very stressed cat.
Yeah. It's like someone playing a kazoo or something.
Yeah.
It sounds like the audio AI thing you brought a couple of weeks ago, Peter.
Yeah, it does a bit, yeah. Yeah, where it's making human sounds but not actual words.
Yeah, that was. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that.
No, it wasn't. When I heard it, it wasn't either. I just stumbled across this on a video the other day, and I was like, okay, well, I've got to bring that along, given that it's audio based as well. It's very podcast friendly, but I mean, you have to keep in mind that this thing doesn't have lips, or it's not able to produce different kinds of phonemes, so it's able to make the tone of human sound. But then it's all just coming out of its open nose hole, so it just is all the...
So I guess it's kind of similar to us humans trying to make different sounds without moving our lips or mouth or anything. It's just
I guess so.
Having your mouth agape and adjusting your box until it sounds weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Which is kind of what it sounds like. Because I was a bit cynical at first, and I was like, God, I thought it was going to sound a bit more like a human, to be honest. But then having listened to it a few times, I'm like... Well, tonally, it does. Like, a human could get underwater and make a sound like that, and you could play them side by side to someone who hadn't heard either, and maybe you could fool some people as to which one was which. So it's not a million miles away, but yeah, creepy. Imagine if you were swimming in the sea and heard that, or on a ship.
Yeah. Well, that's the siren's call, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's as it said in this article. It's something that had been reported historically. It doesn't say how far back it goes, but in the video I was watching about it, it did say, citation very much needed, but it said that there have been like really old sailors' stories of them hearing like screaming children in the sea, and they're like sailing through the fog in the middle of the ocean, and then they hear a weird human-like noise, and it is creepy. Yeah. And that may well have been beluga whales. So
spooky.
Yeah, there you go, and that's it. He lived until 1999, 22 years old in captivity. And that is the story of Nock, named for the no-see-ums.
No-see-ums. Brilliant. Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's time we talk about the fact that there may or may not be some kind of shop, Michael?
I think maybe there is a shop. If you navigate over to vidiotsofficial.com and click on that lovely little shop button, you will be greeted with a bountiful array of goodies which you can purchase, wear, and or use, including t-shirts, mug, cap, hoodie, stickers.
Whoa.
It's all popping off. And I don't know if we're going to announce anything for a little bit, but there is something new coming. Ooh. So keep them peepers peeled, because we've got something I think that is very special coming. So yeah, get ready for that. But in the meantime, go look at our other stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't it neat?
Go on, go look at it.
Avadeeks. That's vidiotsofficial.com. Thank you.
YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots.
Vidiots Official.
The Discord is vidiotsofficial.com/Discord. Go say hello to like-minded Podiots listeners, and thank you to Tommy and Fleckers for modding that for us. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Twitch.tv/VidiotsOfficial. I think I'm roughly penciled in to maybe do a stream next month in April.
Well, hey.
Ben's going to come visit, and we're probably going to get really drunk and raise some money for charity. We'll let you know on the social medias and on the Podiots beforehand, but yeah, maybe soon, potentially.
Amazing.
Podiots.com. If you go there and donate £3 or more, you get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show, and you join Pod Squad. Mikey, kick us off again, please.
Sir Chickbee Dickin Cheeser, Alexa the Engineer, Donak07, I'm Bastard Blobby, a slap in the jammy crumpet, the very miserly Mr. Generous. Tripped me up again. Wow. I want some Crusher. There you go. Get the full effect that time. Stephen Skodes, Lord Brotovich, Peter enjoys racist yogurt. For real, have you seen this little fella and doing a gacy?
Also, this is Caroline, please divorce. Margaret kills Mikey. Finn Tristram wants to lick Mikey's bumhole. Wussy Pussy, Pussy Wussy, Mr. Macca. King Charles III, who was very generous, thank you, Your Highness. Is the past tense of slingshot, slang shat, ?
And finally, we have Blue Poo Dabba Dee Dabba Die. Eat your Wheater Wigs. Happy birthday, Molly. I wipe my bum like Ben does. Freddie doesn't, though. B, stop clenching your arsehole. German robot lady. Tickle all pee-pee wee he's easy. I dream of pegging Elmo's dad. Bartek Kubica bored Jornitzer. Donate early to get fast crew. And German robot ladies nuts. Thank you, Pod Squad, for this week. Once again, podiots.com. £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning of the show. We love you. Thank you so much. We love you. Michael, where are you on the internet?
At Parrot Boy on Twitter is the best place to keep up with all my comings and goings. Go give it a look.
Oh, congratulations on your donk success, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to announce I'm actually number 2 in the donk chart.
That is huge. And by the time this
so
releases,
close.
you may be number 1.
I hope I'm number 1. We'll see. We'll see.
I didn't know you used to DJ, Mikey. You said you picked it back up again, implying
Yeah,
that you've done it historically.
I used to DJ friends' parties and stuff, and had a good year or two doing it. Then I kind of lost interest, but now I'm back, baby, and playing really terrible music by all accounts, but I like it. So, hey, number 2 in the donk charts. The results don't lie.
Number 2,
Yeah.
baby. Peter, where are we on the internet?
We are at that Peter Austin and at confused_dude, both on Twitter, me on Instagram as well. And you can also see us together, along with Ashton Matthews, at Team Triple Jump on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, where we are doing videos and live streams and loads of stuff. So go and watch it.
Yes.
If you want.
I've also skipped over the bit that you normally do as well, Peter, which is what was out on Vidiots this week 5 years ago.
I've got it right here. Dark Souls Backwards Controller Challenge.
Oh, yes.
Piece of cake. Worst games ever, CSI 3 Dimensions of Murder. Nathan Ackerman.
Wait, sorry, was the Dark Souls one the first piece of cake?
Maybe?
Oh, it might have been. Yeah, I don't think I don't think I did one
For
last
some
time.
reason
Yeah,
yeah, I think it was.
it was.
Cute.
Nice.
I guess a lot of these will be first, won't they? Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there again.
Nathan Ackerman, Fine Art Studio. Worst games ever. We went to a cardboard arcade. That was good.
Cute.
Vidiots are now sponsored by Turtle Beach, a very serious ad.
Very serious.
Memory cards for February the 26th. Bully, Pokemon Stadium, Star Wars Rebellion. Person tap number 3, we were finally sent the game. GTA, the bus that couldn't slow down challenge, piece of cake. In the spotlight, Moss, plus a code giveaway.
Whoa.
Skyrim Zoo Chapter 1, a new beginning. Oh, man.
Hot dog.
In the spotlight, Kingdom Come Deliverance. I was disappointed by that game when it finally came out.
Yep.
5. Sorry, carry on, Mikey.
No, I was going to say, I remember you being very excited for that, and then, yeah, it was a letdown.
shame.
Yeah, just a bit bogged down it was, unfortunately. But,
Yeah.
5 video game characters who are total assholes off camera. Vidiots, Patreon and podcast announcement. When are we going up to? The 7th. Memory cards for March the 5th. Yoshi, Tomb Raider and Super Smash Bros. Podiots episode 1. Hi, Evelyn.
Hi, Evelyn.
Hey.
It's Robert.
Went out on the 6th of March, so yesterday at time of release. Happy birthday, Podiots.
We did it. 5 years old. Fucking hell.
Amazing.
Jesus wept.
Unbelievable. And that's actually it. That's the last thing, because the next one's March the 8th. So
Brilliant.
there we go. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, us. Hey, look at us. Who'd have thought?
Yeah. Who'd have thought? Not me.
No, certainly not me either. Why not leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice? It helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms. We'd really appreciate it. That's free. That doesn't cost any money, and you'd be supporting us in the process. And that is your lot. What is the final question before we fuck off?
What's your favourite form of potato? I feel like we've asked or answered this before, but I was just literally
Checking
thinking,
in again.
I'm so hungry. I was thinking, God,
Yes.
I want potato, but what form of potato do I want? So I want to know what form of potato you like to have.
Okay.
Good question.
Croquettes? Croquettes? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Croquettes. Yeah.
waffles? So many
Sautéed.
options. Waffly
Breads.
versatile.
Great.
It's all good stuff, though.
It is. Potatoes are great. Right. We're going to go now. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. You look after yourselves. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye!